Bob and Bob Show.
Hey, what's up, everybody out there in the cyber world? This is the Bob and Bob Show, and we were canceled temporarily there, weren't we, guys?
Come here.
Take a little break here.
Who is that zitting and farting just now?
I don't know. That was Chops. Yeah, dude's got to control that keyboard. So, I'm your host, LB. I also have my co-host, as always, with me, the bearded one.
Yo.
Hello.
Present.
We got the Chopperoonie Chops.
Yes, sir.
As with, the Three Stooges here, but we added a fourth one today. And it's a guy that we have had on the show before.
Yuck.
And he's a little controversial sometimes.
I'm a lot controversial.
It's Solar Jeff. He's in the house. We're not going to talk about fluoride today, though, are we?
We can.
No, I am so burned out on fluoride because everybody are morons.
Oh, we're going to go in the moron thing.
Yeah.
So, what's wrong with morons?
Well, nothing if you like IQs of 40 to 70.
Yeah.
It's a eugenics thing.
Yeah.
It don't make no sense.
So eugenics is just a breeded moron?
It's a pseudoscience from the early 20th century where they were basically propagandizing feeble-mindedness, they called it, or mental capabilities, choosing who could breed with who could breed at all. You know what I mean? It was a big deal in like the late.
That's kind of like the royalty over in England.
Yeah, so is it like let's say this family line has like bad teeth? They're like, well, we're not going to breed them with anybody.
Yes, absolutely.
But this one has perfect health, and this one, so they breed these two together.
You know, the scientists behind the Third Reich actually studied American eugenics programs when coming up with their own. Believe it or not.
Yeah, the white race thing or whatever. Or
the selective breeding.
Yeah,
breeding humans like dogs. It's totally anti-liberty.
Chops was breeded with aliens, apparently.
It may be anti-liberty, but the majority of the human race has always lived like that. I mean,
I know.
There was always the big, strong, dumb guy.
Yeah.
And he got his way.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Throughout
but he's dumb.
history. But he's dumb.
Kings are notoriously dumb and insane.
Really?
It's
a lot of that, didn't they say it was because of the lead in the pewter?
All that stuff.
They're for the Middle Ages.
Oh, yeah. Their diets, like,
Oh, yeah. And that ergo fungus on the rye bread.
Being born into aristocracy. And
sure.
Yeah.
And marrying your cousins.
Yep. Makes people insane, and they're in charge. And guess what? The people that are in charge now aren't much different, folks.
Like the people in Virginia where there's going to be a gun rally or something happening. Did you hear about that?
Oh, yeah.
There's a thing where immediately they start coming out with, demonizing white supremacists and all that crap right away before the rally even happens, And they not only demonize them, but I think they raided dude's home or something, didn't they?
I don't even have the details on it. I've been hiding from everything for a while.
I don't either.
To round everybody up. That's it.
But all that is rhetoric.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But what's really important is what the governor is doing of Virginia. Oh, my God. He is passing. Every single thing that he's passing is verbatim antithesis of the 10 amendments.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, stop using such big words, man.
I know, man.
I want to
Chops is going to have a meltdown over there.
I want to be able to participate in this show.
Isn't it crazy that Virginia is in Mount Vernon is in Virginia, and Virginia is
in the United States, on the East Coast, on the planet Earth?
Well, I mean, it's one of
the highways.
At least he knows where he is.
It's one of the original, spots where America was conceptualized and born, and right now they're going through
Roanoke.
The throes of what? Yeah, Roanoke.
Remember
before
Roanoke?
that.
Oh yeah, I was just in Roanoke last weekend.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
A serious problem for America here pretty soon.
Well, I mean, since we're on it, I got a article here out of the Washington Post. The FBI arrests 3 alleged members of a white supremacist group called the Base. It's ahead of this Virginia.
The Base?
Yeah,
you know what else is the Base?
What?
Literally, Al-Qaeda.
Nice.
Means the Base in Arabic.
Great.
Is it really?
Are
Al-Qaeda?
you sure?
The base?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna Google that.
Well, anyway,
Google it.
Out of the Washington Post.
Look it up, buddy.
The FBI has arrested 3 alleged members of a white supremacist group on federal gun and alien harboring charges. amid growing concerns about safety concerns surrounding planned gun rights protests in Virginia's capital next week. So, I don't know what kind of intelligence they used or what kind of Patriot Act stuff they used to figure out that these guys were packing heat,
Yeah.
But either way, they went in there, and then they're going to glorify that and throw it in the media, so it demonizes this actual rally that's happening.
You see what's happening through whatever means, however intentional, or just whether they're just capitalizing on things. The fact that it's called the base is quite ironic, because now we went from a threat from overseas and jihadi-type terrorism to basically American citizens exercising natural rights being terrorists, and that's exactly where this Patriot Act was headed from day one. I mean, a lot of us saw that coming right away.
It's still there, and it is dangerous, but it has not been acted on even closely, even remotely.
It hasn't been worth giving up so many liberties. You know what? I went to the bank real quick this morning before I came over here. There's a sign on the wall. It basically said, due to the new Patriot Act rules, you may be asked personal information that you'll have to state to make sure you are who you are because of money laundering activities, blah, 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 whatever.
I've seen that in my bank, too.
This is bureaucrats just basically accomplishing the exact opposite of what they claim they're trying to do. So I go up to the window. I had to tell the teller, name on the account, phone number, email, mailing address, last four of my social, date of birth, and I think that might have been it, but I had to state it in the presence of other people
you had to give your social,
just standing there.
Fingerprint, retinal scan,
or they wouldn't even let me do a transaction at the bank.
Sperm sample.
You know what I'm saying? So basically,
fecal sample. They want to know what you've been eating.
In the name of our own of national security,
step over here for your proctologist.
We are supposed to give up very sensitive personal information verbally at banks in the presence of the general public.
Well, you're not giving it up. You're just verifying something that they already have.
Exactly.
Well, they want you to rattle it off.
But you're not giving it up, though.
If you want to steal
I'm
someone's
giving
identity,
it to the person next to me when they hear me say it.
Yeah, just stand there and wait for them to give off their socials and start writing everybody's stuff down.
You mean it was just a regular patron standing next to you?
Yeah, just in line in bank. There's three other people there. The other tellers are there.
Okay, see, you don't have to worry. They're morons. They aren't going to remember anything.
If they want to, they will.
Listen,
I'm not even.
Off. I want to stay on this Virginia thing just for a hot more second because, here's another article out of the Daily Caller that an Antifa group is to march alongside these pro-gun protesters. So what the hell is that all about?
Well, Antifa is pro-gun.
What's that? What's an Antifa group?
The far left.
Antifa, the anti-fascist, whatever.
Yeah,
people.
The far left are the commie kids. They are pro-gun.
So I guess they're going to march.
Skinny jeans guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the black maskers. Yeah. They think they're tough or whatever. That's fine and dandy.
They shave with dull razors.
But they're saying it's a bizarre meeting of minds and a diverse gathering of pro-gun protesters is set to descend upon Virginia's capital on Monday. This could include an unlikely ally, a local Antifa group. So I don't really understand because I think they're a bunch of clowns. And I mean, first you got the white supremacist thing all over the news.
Everywhere,
then
man.
you got Antifa and these pro-gun people marching together. I mean,
to
me it looks like a bunch of there's an agenda. There's some kind of propaganda
here. But there's not that many of them. I mean, there couldn't be any more than 25 or 30.
There wasn't that many people in Charlottesville either. What matters is how the media can sensationalize
exactly.
it.
There you go. Bingo. You got it.
And that's what they do. That's what
I
they
think
always
it's fairly convenient just basically throwing piss in our faces that they're calling it the base, too. It's hilarious.
Oh, the average American probably doesn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Wow. See, you learn stuff on this show.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
So, wait. One thing I was saying about the bank, I'm not necessarily saying that, Betty Joe behind me there in line is trying to steal my personal information. What I'm saying is we are forced to give up very sensitive and potentially dangerous information to the general public just by default because of a policy that some, red tape aristocrats and monkeys in suits made up for national security.
Same thing happened to me 3 days ago.
Well, it's not even about national security, and we all know this. It's not at all about that. It's about just getting the people used to authoritarianism. And
check this out.
Putting the people under
I went
a boot.
down to Denatoes, the pizza place, and they have salads and stuff. So I went in and I just bought a regular salad.
Tough.
And then the girl rang it up and she said, "Okay, that'll be $5.50." And then I said, "Okay." And she says, "Your phone number, please." I says, "You don't need my phone number." I said, "I get enough spam phone calls the way it is." "No, you're not getting my phone number." She says, well, the computer won't let me put
it won't
this
let her.
through. It won't let me until I fill in that blank.
Right.
I says, well, I'm not going to fill in that
You can
blank.
give it a fake number, but they can't even go forward unless you fill in a number.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I never even thought of giving her a fake number.
Yeah.
But
It's so they can call you if something in the 15 minutes between you getting your food and them making it something happen.
yeah, well, see, I didn't want that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I was
if it's a walk-in order,
I was
you
just
don't
belligerent.
Yeah.
I says, no.
Bob knows all ins
You're
and outs
not
of this.
getting you're not getting my phone
have to.
number.
The POS system.
So I was ready to walk out. And then she says, well, wait a minute. I'll just write it up like this, and I'll do this, and then it's to go, right? And yeah, she says, okay, that'll be $5.55. So it was a nickel more going through, around your elbow to get to your asshole, and then she charged me.
Wow.
But
Wow.
how many
Nickel and
people,
dime.
Wow.
if she said, okay, your phone number, they just rattle it right off.
All the time.
They just rattle it right off.
Hey, well, here's the thing. Did you walk in there to order food and
Yeah.
wait for it and take it out? Oh, they shouldn't need your phone number for that.
Well,
If it's like carry
nobody
out or
needs my
something,
phone number anyway. They do the same thing at the Auto Zone in O'Reilly's
Yeah,
Auto Parts.
because
That's
that's your
for warranties.
registration number.
But
Yeah,
what
that's a
does
warrant
this
for their
have to
system.
do about gun violence?
He's talking about record keeping.
I know.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
do we go?
I mean, I don't know how many shows we've had about gun violence and guns and the government
few.
and all that stuff. It's like we're a broken record anymore.
Fake
Seven.
news. Fake news.
Seven.
There's no such thing as gun violence.
Just
It's-
violence.
It's human violence.
Yeah.
Because a gun can't, do violence on anybody.
Well, I mean, maybe
Say it right. Say it
Maybe,
right.
maybe if you
dude.
dropped it and it just
Yeah. What
went
if it had
off.
multiple personalities?
Well, who's going to put
That
a
wouldn't
bullet in
necessarily
it?
be violence. I mean, that would be an unfortunate accident.
What if it identified
There you
as
go.
a knife?
There you go.
farm implement violence has to be
He's
curbed?
identified as a violent human.
What about
Yeah.
farm implement violence?
Farm?
Yeah, an accident on a farm. Is that farm implement
Well, speaking
violence?
of that, I have a nice article here about farm violence.
Oh, God, I hope it doesn't have anything to do with fucking hemp.
No, and I wouldn't sit there and talk crap about hemp because hemp is the future.
He said a cuss word.
And I'm gonna have to edit that
And
out.
fluoride is the past. And I'm
So,
tired of it. Nobody
hopefully-
cares.
This is out
People
of the
do. People
this
get
is-
hip.
This is out of the Daily Star. Farmer was eaten by his own pigs
Oh,
as horrified neighbors find his bones in the yard.
he shouldn't talk about his wife that way.
He probably had a heart attack and
so-
they just ate him.
An elderly man in his 70s
That
lived
does
alone
Oh, yeah.
on a farm in Poland, where his pigs were found roaming freely around the yard near fragments of his bone. The pig farmer is feared to have been devoured by his own pigs after vanishing from his farm in Poland, leaving just bones.
Wow.
All right, so the neighbor said that he had a real bad drinking problem, so I don't know.
Yep.
He probably went out there
That's what it
drinking,
is.
slipped in some poo, and that was the end of that.
Well, it's not like
Passed out.
it's not like you just like slip and poop and fall down and they devour you like piranhas. He probably died. He probably died of alcohol poisoning.
Yeah,
or
pigs
something.
don't eat things that are alive.
Yeah, they're not just gonna eat somebody that's sleeping.
Right, so
They're
he-
not
He
carnivores.
slipped, fell, died, and then got eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yep.
man. Jeez.
Or drowned in all the mud and
he
poop.
could
and
have.
stuff.
Yeah, could have been some AC/DC type stuff.
So maybe he probably didn't even know he was getting eaten by pigs, is what you're saying.
Oh, he was
Right.
probably dead before they
I
even
think he would
thought
have
about
tried to
eating him.
stop him.
Could you imagine like getting eaten by pigs alive?
Nope.
That'd probably be crazy.
Or
Or
sharks.
wolves.
Would it be
or
better
sharks.
to be eaten by a jaguar alive?
Just be eaten by anything.
Right,
There you
eaten by
go.
anything.
There you go.
Start at my head, please. Don't start at my feet. You know what I mean? I think a boa constrictor or some big old python or something would be the worst because it'd be squeezed.
Oh, that would be horrible.
Oh, that would be.
Yeah,
It'd just
Man.
be swallowing you, not even chewing
I'd rather
you.
get mauled
Yep.
by something.
No,
than-
no, you're
than
you're
that.
dead before he swallows you. What they
Oh,
do
yeah.
is
Yeah,
they
yeah.
suffocate you by compressive asphyxiation.
Yeah,
Oh, well, there goes
they
chops.
squeeze
We
your
just lost
guts right out of your butthole, man, and then they swallow you whole.
him.
Yeah.
Well, then we also have, back to the gun thing, Eminem came out with a song called The Darkness or something. Did you hear that? You hear about that, Chops?
No.
He's like depicting the Texas shooting or whatever and talking about pills and guns and all this stuff. But in the end, he's really trying to push a gun control
Is he
agenda.
talking about antidepressants and SSRI abuse?
Yeah, he has a little bit of that in there.
Well, then that's the issue, not the guns.
Well,
Exactly.
he's still, for some reason...
I'm telling you, guns are completely inert. They don't do anything
What
unless a human acts
What are we
with
going to
it.
do about crazy people violence?
Well, what I've noticed...
And guns.
What I've
String
noticed
them up.
about
String 'em
Eminem...
up.
Eminem seems to be moving to the left all the time now.
Well, that ain't nothing new.
I mean, that's kind of crazy because, you know, he was screaming, killing people and doing all
Right.
his murder stuff, you know, when he got started.
That
Now, all
was
of a
20
sudden,
years ago.
Killing his mom and his wife.
now he's a social justice warrior. Like, come on, man.
Dude,
Eminem, get a grip, dude.
He's 20 years into
Was he
a
always
mainstream
bald?
music
Did you
career.
lose out
No,
on
he used to have
material?
blonde hair. Huh?
He lost all his material, is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, he's 20 years
Ran
into a
through it.
mainstream music career where he's basically just a tool for record executives. So they have political agendas all the time. That ain't nothing new.
Hang it up.
So he's doing his job, man.
Well, he's probably doing it on his own. They don't even got to
He
tell
might
him.
be.
He's
He
like
might be.
Justin Timberlake.
That's
At
the-
least Timberlake is honest about
You
it.
know, the best horse for the field is the one that can plow without being guided, man.
Justin
He knows the job
Tinkerbell.
because he's been groomed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just let them go on their own. He'll do it for you.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah,
not going to
no.
say, you know, Eminem is a good artist.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell
he's
yeah.
got
Nobody
a lot
could
of
deny
talent.
that.
So is
I
Justin
love
Bieber.
Eminem.
Justin Bieber is not a good Bieber.
Dude, Bieber.
Justin
Bieber,
Bieber.
Yeah, he knows how to read music, play guitar.
No,
play
he's an
drums.
excellent musician
Yeah.
and a vocalist.
He's
He's
got a ton
excellent.
of talent. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he just happens to look real fairy gay.
Bubblegum. He's a bubblegum guy.
Oh, them women love it though. I mean,
Yeah.
all his women are
Hey,
bad.
and
Dude, that's
their
not
money's
even
clean
him.
like
That's-
everybody else's.
That's not even him. That's just a boy that was, again, molded into
He's
something.
just
you
a
know?
boy.
His real stuff, if you look at his stuff that he does on his own, that's
Didn't
not.
Lady Gaga discover him?
No, it was some dude. I don't.
Was
on
it some
YouTube.
dude?
Yeah, it was. No, it's that. It was.
Yeah, I know.
It was that one pop artist. Usher. It was Usher.
Yeah, it was, Usher was connected to it. I think. Yeah,
Usher
I saw him
was?
on
Usher
YouTube.
found him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Well,
U.S.
The Biebs.
oh, the entertainment. We all know.
AMD.
Entertainment industry. I mean, it's been corrupt for a long time.
It's a propaganda machine, man. It always has been.
You don't make it if you don't do what you're told.
Could
Right.
you
Or
could
you
you
get hung off
imagine
a
being a
balcony.
black artist during the 50s? Talk about getting ripped off.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God!
A white guy cops everything you do
Oh,
and
yeah,
becomes
Elvis.
rich and famous. Yeah.
Elvis for one.
You go down eventually in the
But I love
history books
Elvis.
with a name, but never have the
Thank
name
you.
or
Thank you
fame
very
or
much.
money that the white guy did. It's crazy.
In other
Wow.
news, you know, in Ohio on the 16th, you know, and Jeff's going to get mad because I'm going to talk about this, but it's hemp, the
Uh-oh.
cultivating and processing.
Choose your words carefully.
The 16th was the other day.
Yeah, our legislators
news.
finally signed off on it, and it's legit. We are going to be able to grow here in Ohio. I think within the next few weeks.
Oh no, I like talking about pot and hemp.
I know we're going to talk about it, but you know, this thing with
It's exciting.
they're setting
is.
it up though, from what I look at, because I really read the laws and really dig into this, and it
That's
seems
not
like
exciting.
it seems like they are really setting up for big agriculture to control this. Not
Of course they are, man.
You know.
Everything's got.
Dude, my dad said that, and I talked to him about this, months ago, and about how they keep pushing it out and stuff. And he's like, "Well, they're just bending it to the corporations before they put it through." I'm like, yeah, obviously.
yeah.
I
I mean, my end game. We're gonna try to grow CBD this year, and some high variety CBD. We're gonna try our best to do it, but there's weird things that are in play with these laws. Like I was talking to you about, Bob, the 1,000 square
plant-
foot.
1,000 square feet and 1,000 plant minimum.
Yeah, how are you gonna plant? You can have them germinate and all that, but by the
Yeah.
time they get to mature, you
A
can't
square
fit
foot
a
per
square
plant.
foot. That's
with,
not gonna happen.
With no movement room around them or rows.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
mean
possible.
they wrote stuff in the law saying unless other approval from the Department of Agriculture.
Sure.
So you can go in there and try to get them to let you do it. I guess.
Just remember one thing, LB.
What?
It's not what you know; it's who you blow.
Oh, okay.
All you gotta do is
That
blow.
is true. Nepotism is a real thing, man.
Prostitution should be legal.
Yeah.
Hemp is going to change the whole dynamic of this country. It already is. And the states that have already legalized it, the ones that were working under the 2014 pilot law, they cultivated, and there's been some farmers that lost stuff, but in the end,
That's
the
anything.
the market is definitely booming. Like,
Yeah.
as long as you know how to sell, as long as you know how to make the right network connections and all that, growing's only half the battle. Then you got to
It's not
deal
even
with
half.
then you got to deal with damn bureaucrats and everything else on
Yeah.
top of that.
You
So,
can thank DJ for that.
DJ.
DJT
Oh yeah, for what? Thank him for what? Bureaucrats?
for cutting through all the red, not all the red tape, but really cutting back the red tape on businesses, agriculture, EPA requirements that
Not
are
with
fucking
hemp.
ridiculous.
Well, he did sign the 2018 Farm Bill that put this all into play.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's good.
Thank you very much.
So, and then our senators and
Hoorah!
congressmen went through it, and then the federal Farm Bill went. Then the USDA decided to make their rules finally, and then that held Ohio up, and then Ohio's slow as molasses.
Is the USDA part of the executive branch?
They must be now, I guess.
It's a part of the bureaucratic branch.
But it's a good thing, man.
I love that.
Hemp and the endocannabinoid system and everything involved with hemp, not even on the medical side, on the fiber side, that's the one I'm really interested in.
Dietary, too.
No, he was talking about
I know what
fabric.
he's talking about.
Yeah.
Fabric.
They actually have the new, they're calling it the new oak, hemp oak.
The chaff.
It's down in big facilities just getting built in Kentucky right now. So they're going to
Is it true that the Declaration of Independence was printed on hemp paper?
It probably was. They
Yeah.
say it was.
I've heard that a bunch of
They
times.
used hemp for everything.
Oh, yeah.
man.
Because why not? You know why? Because it's really easy to grow. It's fast to grow.
And
you
it's
can-
saltwater resistant. It won't rot.
Yeah, it's easy to process. It's just
Sure.
it's perfect for those things. So why
It's
wouldn't
got
they?
really long, thin,
Yep.
strong strands.
And then Harry Anslinger came along and ruined everything for the future and the
okay,
progress.
what year?
That was the name. That's what we were talking about
What year?
yesterday.
What year did Harry Anslinger get
Yes.
started? Oh, let me think. for
No.
a minute.
Well, when did everything after he got started and did his campaign against it? Boom. What year?
What year did marijuana prohibition and
illegal.
hemp all that? Wasn't it 36 or something like that?
37.
37.
Yep.
Okay.
See what
Oh,
I tell
wow.
you? What I tell you?
Wow.
dude.
You guys are smart.
I was gonna say
Wow.
37 because Reefer Madness came out in 37, but I figured it would have been a year lag there. That was
Yeah.
my rationale.
No, it was 1937. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
And
And that was nothing but a propaganda movie.
it's still highly regulated. It's a highly regulated
no
crop.
shit, really?
Right.
Yeah, the girl's playing the piano and the guy's choking on a joint like
Yeah.
2 inches from her nose, and he's going faster, 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 and she starts playing faster.
And then everybody kills each other.
Oh my God, are you okay over there?
That was awesome.
He just had a boomer moment.
I would like Mexi Melt with
Okay, Xer.
no pico. Wink, wink. No pico.
So
What were we just talking?
we were
about?
talking about hemp and the future of hemp, and
Oh, yeah.
pricing.
It's
and stuff.
so versatile.
There's
but-
farms that failed. There's they have this regulation where if the hemp goes over 0.3 THC, and this is total THC, all the derivatives of THC, if it goes over 0.3, burn your crop.
Oh man.
There's people gonna blow their brains out over stuff like that, man.
Yeah, they're not gonna
It'll
know.
happen if it
these
hasn't
farmers.
already.
I mean, there's so much difference between plants. I mean, maybe the sample he took was a 0.4.
They take several samples from all over the place.
Well, don't take the one from the plant in the middle of the field because that'll blow your machine.
Don't take samples from the purple one.
Yeah, don't take it from the sparkly purple one.
Well, here's the major
Point
thing.
3 is so low,
That's
man.
way low.
Right.
You could have it at 1% and not get high at all.
Right. You
You'd
just
have to
cough
smoke
like Solar Jeff over there.
Yeah, and you have to smoke a pound of it. Like, come on, really? Like, you guys are really going to regulate it that hard? You're trying to make it so that we can't grow and be successful.
So it has to
Which
be a
is so
corporate lab
stupid
operation.
because all of us have been, well, I'll speak for myself. I've been buying and smoking dope illegally for 60 years, okay? Now, if the government charges too much for shit that don't work or it's garbage or they make you jump through too many hoops or want too much of your personal information, we'll just say, fuck you, I'm just going to go back to my dealer,
Yeah.
because
an
at least I
outlaw.
trust him.
Right.
Well,
a lot of laws
I don't
just
know about-
criminalize people.
I don't
man.
know about those back channel, back alley stuff that you do. We don't do that stuff.
Back door thing.
here.
Oh,
The
that-
back door.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a renegade.
The what market?
Oh.
So, full disclaimer: we do not associate ourselves with Solar Jeff. We just hang out with him.
Because
once in a
I
while.
I'm a warlock also.
We're not even in his house right now.
Yeah, I'm
He's
a,
just
I'm
on
a
the
male
phone.
witch.
He's on the phone
We
with
are
us.
not running solely on solar power right now.
No.
From a
Now, if
discrete
this was
location.
if this
Are
was
we on
in the
solar
middle
power
of
right now?
No.
Okay.
Because I haven't had any sun for 2 days.
Right, I understand that.
But if it was in the middle of July, not only could I power everything here, but my refrigerator and do a load of laundry
oh, nice.
It's awesome.
just in the middle of July on one day for an hour.
Right. That's good.
But it really is good. But
Yeah.
it just so happens to be in January.
Right.
Even on a good day, I only get a couple of amps.
Well,
charged.
I'll tell you what, December and January has been pretty strange with the weather.
Ooh.
around here.
Well, today's about like a month
Scary.
behind what it should be, but it's going to go right back to the 40s next week.
It is. I know.
I mean,
yeah, it's weird.
this
I've even
is
heard
like-
that we will never have another
very mild
ice
there.
age.
Well, what do we know about that?
I
well,
hope not.
well, we know a lot about it, specifically from volcanic explosions, especially the main one, the big supervolcano in Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Okay, that thing has already erupted 3 times because they have 3 different layers of that lava ash. And it's like 600,000 years apart.
Right.
Okay, well, the first one was freaking gigantic. That plume came up and it deposited 6 inches of that ash on the East Coast.
Oh, I believe it.
And then the next one, 600,000 or so million, let's say million years later,
Welcome to Geology Hour with Jeff.
it blew up. It blew up again, and that ash cloud deposited 6 inches right here in Ohio and Kentucky and Tennessee. Right at that.
That's why it's so good for growing tobacco.
And now the third one, when it blew, it was a much smaller release. It was like about 1/3 of the previous one.
Earth
So
farts.
it put ash 6 inches thick all the way to Missouri and Kansas and that area, Nebraska. Now this third one, it shouldn't, if it follows, how it's been
The
going
drawing
on.
that's being made.
Right. That the next one should be 1/3 of the previous one, which means that it's only going to have a radius of about 250 miles. So it'll have a diameter with it in the middle. It'll only encompass 500 miles around it.
It's like a tie-dye. You know what?
Well, didn't they just have like 3 volcanoes go off in 3 days or
That's if
something?
Mother Nature
in
doesn't
Puerto
throw a
Rico.
left hook.
Wasn't there real bad, like 3 bad earthquakes right in a row in Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we live on a dynamic planet. It does this all the time.
It's shitting and farting
always
constantly.
has. It's dynamic.
It's like soup. It's a bowl of soup with croutons in it. You know what?
And elbow macaroni.
Okay, can you clarify that?
Well, I mean, the ocean is salty and is full of meat and vegetables,
Okay.
I guess. Right?
All right, so
You are absolutely correct.
so that's the soup.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the
And it has the probiotics with the
freaking
algae
land.
and everything.
It's a bread bowl.
it's a bread bowl.
It's a gravity bread bowl. It's inside out.
Well,
Wow.
The soup sits around the bowl.
Oh,
Why
wait.
don't we throw all of our garbage in volcanoes and just vaporize it into atomic nothingness?
I came up with the same idea on how to get rid of nuclear waste.
You can throw plastic in there and it'll turn back into pure atoms.
No, it won't. You have to
No.
go through the whole process. So I'm saying with all this nuclear waste, you put it in a big, huge fucking torpedo, and then you shoot it down to the bottom of the ocean, right where we have the tectonic plates meeting each other, and you have
Is
subduction.
this where your nuclear engineering and water hydroengineering and geology all coming
background
together?
come in? No. This is I got
Just fire
this
it
by,
through the water into the earth.
I got it by smoking some really, really heavy duty pot.
oh gosh, these freaking stoner boomers,
But
man.
okay, but wait a minute. You take this waste.
He does
and
have door
you
beads
plunge
up.
it down into a subduction zone, and then what'll happen as it goes back into the core or down into the mantle of the planet Earth, it'll remelt. It'll
Right.
remelt, and that's where the uranium came from in the first.
Well, that's what I'm
goddamn
saying.
place.
Like reset everything.
But you
know
can't.
what I mean?
But you can't throw it on the outside. It has to go through the whole
Right.
pressurized heat thing.
Yeah, you can't just drop it on top.
That's
where
what
it'll
I'm
just
saying.
sit there.
But
yeah.
the Earth will take care of all of our
Oh
garbage.
yeah, it'll sanitize
All you have
it.
to do is send it back to whence it came.
Send it to hell, man.
Send it to hell.
Send it to hell and purify that sumbitch.
You'll get to my gun when you pry my cold, dead fingers.
You'll
off
get
of
my gun after I get to the mantle of the earth and
There you
purify
go.
it.
Aye, matey.
Why don't we just get everybody to turn in all their guns and throw them in the volcano?
That's an excellent idea.
We don't
That-
need.
you know what? That would solve all violence.
It
yeah,
would. It would. Totally.
Awesome.
Perfect.
I mean, there would be
time.
no more conflict.
I know,
We got to
but
start
then,
a Facebook page.
then we'd have to get rid of all the arrows.
Well,
and
let's,
all the
let's try it. Let's start a,
bows.
a Facebook
And all the
page
people?
and see if we can do this. Let's get everybody to throw their guns in the volcano. You first.
suck.
There might already be one.
I got too much invested.
Yeah.
I'm not throwing those motherfuckers.
You and Bob, you guys got to throw everything in the volcano.
I already
No way.
lost all mine in a boating accident
Today's
anyway.
programming is rated R.
They're probably down by the mantle
Parental
by now.
advisory.
You're shitting me, really?
All right, man. We're at the halfway point. Bob and Bob Show. Catch us on the other
Are you
side.
laughing at me?
Yeah.
We're always laughing at you.
Of course
Jeff.
I didn't lose him in a boat accident.
I wouldn't be
but I did.
taken seriously.
We're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you.
Okay, well, I feel better.
There's something to laugh at coming up here, I think. It's horrible, and I'm probably
Bro
going to have
hug.
to explain
Bro
it.
hug.
Yeah.
Bro
On the other side.
hug.
Welcome to the show.
Everybody, let's put on a blue Oxford. I just ironed it today. Let's hop down on our bamboo floors down to the coffee shop. Let's get a latte. Everybody says it's gay. Gay is good. It's the late 90s. Everybody be a homo. It's the late 90s.
You guys are awful, dude. Oh my god.
Gordy, come here.
Give him a little hug.
Give me a little
Just a
hug.
little hug.
Come
Hug.
here, Gordy. Give me a little hug.
Just a tiny little hug.
Just a little one.
Just a small hug.
Come on, Gordy. Just a little one hug.
Just bring it over here and give me a small hug.
He's a very sensual guy.
Come on, Gord. Just a gentle hug.
Just a small hug.
Hey, Gordy.
This is the part of the movie where Joel Lapointman comes out and sings a song that goes,
Oh,
it goes,
oh, oh,
Give me a hug.
Bob Ward.
All right, we're back, and that was a total mess there at the halfway point.
Yeah.
Total freaking mess. These guys, I don't know what the hell's wrong with them.
If I would have ever known that was going to be broadcast, I probably would have still done it. I don't know. That I think requires some explaining because
Nope.
that was Dotson, Baker, LB, and I messing around in the studio one night, partying, and all of us were pretty messed up.
Everybody was pretty lit, yeah. I think you weren't very lit, though.
Yeah.
So there's something to say there because you act like that and you're not even lit.
Well, I was intoxicated.
Well, you weren't like wasted drunk or anything.
No,
Everybody else was.
Tom was.
Oh, yeah. Tom always is.
Fired up, son.
Dirty Tom, we're sorry, buddy. We know.
Hey,
you got to
hey.
quit, though.
Dotson gave you a shout out there, Lapoitavin. I think that was one of your beats. None of that was scripted, by the way. It was just ramblings of people partying
Yeah,
and
it literally
making fun of everything.
It doesn't sound scripted at all.
It was my best work.
If that was scripted, that'd be awful.
What's that called? Extemporaneous?
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, isn't it? Extemporaneous means it just happens.
Just off the cuff. Yeah.
Spontaneous.
Spontaneous.
Are you just making stuff up over there?
No, I most certainly am not.
That would be extemporaneous if he was.
That'd be supercalifragilistic.
Whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Extemporaneous.
I don't even know what planet we were on before that whole halfway point there. I don't remember anything from earlier today after hearing that.
You remember nothing? It just totally wiped
It wiped
slate
everything
clean.
clean,
Boom,
man.
done.
You just disappeared into the void for a small. That's where
Give me a
overlapping universes tend to merge right there in that one little spot as
Yeah.
they wave around. Well, you
Perfect
temporarily were in the other dimension, other universe,
Oh.
and then it waved back, and then you're back here.
Have you been
Oh,
seeing your
wow.
doctor regularly?
I know. Okay, Boomer.
Keep him
got
away
you.
from that bubbler.
So, hey, all right, this is out of Wired.com, some new tech stuff that we have actually discussed this before, being able to have like Windows operate in your peripheral
If-
vision or whatever.
If
So-
there's
A contact lens, like
Yeah, so that's what
contact
this is. This
Heads
is
up display.
This is coming from a company called Mojo, and they have some prototypes that are working. and they're actually going to have these contact lenses where they have like little icons that can pop up, and oh man, it's
Like
gonna
you
be
get a text message
gonna be
and it
horrible.
pops up in your peripheral.
yeah, probably that'd be cool.
Okay, Xer.
I want nothing to do with that.
Now you will understand.
What do you mean by Xer? What is this?
Because you
You're
call him
Generation
boomer.
X.
Oh, okay.
Generation
Oh wow.
X.
What
Well,
a-
you called me boomer.
what
You
a-
millennial.
Boomer sounds better.
Senior citizen.
Boomer sounds better.
You
than
millennial.
Xer.
Okay, so anyway, continue. What were you saying?
I don't
forgot.
know.
Okay, boomer.
Senior citizen.
See, that's why I say
Oh
it.
no! You will realize that now you're getting future shock over technology that's coming up that you don't understand and you're not familiar with.
I don't
It's
want
the
nothing to do
same
with
as
it.
boomers. Whenever all this computer stuff came out in '95,
What a
and
concept.
since then,
Push
Mhm.
button.
and
telephones.
it's gone so far, so fast. I can't keep up with it, and I
Well,
don't want to.
I don't
up with
care
it,
to
and
keep up
neither,
with it.
and neither are you.
So let's
I
get.
don't-
So that we've been able to text message each other for how long now? You think
25 years.
No, well, since '95.
we were able to send a text message on a
Yes.
cell phone to each other?
Kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit.
So that's what I want. This is what I don't get. All those years, and you still have a problem sending a text message?
Do I?
Yeah.
No, it's easy now.
How long did it take you? A decade?
Yeah. but my point is future shock. Everything is exponentially getting more and more complicated, and they're removing a lot of our individual sovereign rights, and they say, well, we'll do it for you.
We're edging into that wave again.
So the only thing you have to do is say more volume, Alexa, or turn.
Oh yeah.
Turn the
You seen
volume
those
down.
commercials where they're like, "Oh, my parents are coming over," and they're like, "Okay, Alexa," and they talking to their phone, and they're like, "Turn the coffee pot on," and it starts brewing
Oh,
coffee.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
seen that one?
Controlled the whole house.
Yeah, I'm like, wow.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of houses like
Yeah,
that.
we'll
down in
see. We'll see
Florida.
the
A lot.
kids now, and the millennials, and the people that come after the millennials. That'll be normal to them.
Oh yeah,
It'll
definitely.
be totally normal. And then
Normalization.
you will be called Xer.
That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah,
Incremental.
boomer still sounds better.
You will be called a
Incremental
memory.
normalization. Incremental normalization.
But all the
Mortalization.
animals stay the same.
Well, listen.
We're the only ones that change.
The thing,
They
I
changed a
started
little
out on Windows,
They adapt.
and then XP, and then continued with these platforms as they progressed. So now I know how to operate them. So when you jump into Windows 10 out of nowhere, you know what? You don't understand the original design that they had. It still functions in that manner, but what's happening is you can't grasp that technology because you didn't grasp it when it started.
What's your point?
Well, I'm saying you need to grasp the technology.
What if you
really.
don't give a crap?
Well, I mean,
Well, then go live in the frickin' woods and bury your own poop somewhere.
That
I mean,
sounds amazing to me.
I think I understand the physics and the electronics, but I don't know the myriad of ways that they hook up with all your potentiometers and all.
potentiometer.
Yeah.
There's another supercalifragilistic word.
I don't know. I don't know where the bulbs go.
I don't know where the bulbs go.
Open your eyes. Oh, geez, I didn't know there was a screen there.
Is this solar powered?
Yeah, but this contact lens. I mean, I want it. I want to see what it's all about, man.
I don't.
You
I
don't
don't
want to be
either.
able to like do
I don't either.
check your bank
There's-
account
there's
while you're
stuff
walking
I
down the
don't need
road.
to do.
I
No,
wish I
don't.
could get rid of my
I don't
cell
need to do
phone.
that.
What if somebody gets a hold of my contact and I got some nudie pictures in there or something? You know what I mean?
For me, it's not even so much a security issue. It's just I don't want to be bothered with it.
Where's that-
Do I really need to look at my bank account while I'm walking down the road? It's never going to be that urgent.
Well, you could be standing in line and you can just be checking the weather.
Well,
or
you're
your
not-
email.
you're
So
not-
I can pack so much more into my day.
You're not
Sweet.
looking at its applications. They could tie that into one of the autonomous driving automobiles, and
I get it.
And the problem is that the automobile just looks ahead of him, and he's got so many degrees of vision out to the peripheral. But if they have a human eye with the driver sitting behind there and his eyes are constantly jerking around, well, that gives all that information to the computer
Yeah, it's just like an
to, dr-
Apache
to
helicopter.
drive for you.
It's an Apache helicopter, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
I don't know. Obviously, DARPA and
They're making Apache helicopter contacts for civilians.
Apache helicopter contacts.
For what? To fly your own Apache?
So you can check your bank account while you're walking down the street.
Yeah, but you only get a semi-automatic 50 cal.
That's right.
You don't get the fully automatic.
Yeah.
Snookums.
I don't know. It'd be sweet that you could just Google while you're walking.
It's retina controlled though. You just look around and it
Google
follows
while you-
it follows your pupil, and when you blink, it fires.
Yeah, and whatever you're looking at, it'll be tied into the targeting system.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
All you got to do is look and blink, and boom, something blows up.
Did you, LB? Did you know that is current technology?
What is?
That what we're talking about right now? That's Apache helicopter pilots. They can actually do that. It's tied into their helmet. It's tied into the machine.
Right.
And that thing over their eye. If you ever look at a picture, there's like a disc over
Little
their eye.
Terminator kind of.
That is the reticle for the weapon, for the 50 cal cannon,
Oh,
for the
wow.
20 millimeter, and it follows their retina. And like with their pupil, where they are looking, they just look at the target and it zeroes in.
No, it doesn't follow the retina. The retina's in the.
Or the pupil, whatever,
Yeah.
the iris. It
Yeah.
follows the iris, and wherever you're looking, it points the gun, and
Yeah.
it fires with command.
That's freaking scary.
They even
I
have
know.
handguns that do that. Not handguns, but I mean rifles that do that. You know, in the trajectory of the bullet goes right where you want it to go.
Yeah.
Right where the
Smart
microphone
bullet.
is.
Smart
Well,
bullet.
I had to put it down here
Talk
because
into
it
the
gets in the way of my
microphone,
fucking
Junior.
smoking.
Technology.
So we have this boomer on here. He's got a potty mouth and he's got to smoke the whole time. So
Hey,
just bear with us.
He's living free, man.
I'm a Navy guy. You know, I swear like a sailor. I
He's-
can't help it.
He's living free, man.
My government taught me how to do that.
Well, I don't know. Here's something out of Russia you guys might get a kick out of, or you might want to say, what the hell just happened?
Russia!
But,
What is it, a truck driver?
That's out of the Daily Mail, and it's a 13-year-old schoolgirl that becomes pregnant by a 10-year-old boy in Russia.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That's
I don't
pretty
believe
old.
that. I'm fake news.
Is that fake news or
Fake
I don't know.
news.
That's
10
old. That's old for their age, ain't it?
I don't understand.
That's
I don't think
Inquirer
they can even
material.
produce anything that's going to do anything at 10 years old.
Right.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
know.
once you can
With all
get
the
someone
steroids?
pregnant, it doesn't. It just is what it is. But a 10-year-old, that's an early bloomer there, man.
Right. All the
No.
steroids and all your
No,
everything
that
you eat.
puberty, that's 4 years earlier than what it's supposed to be.
They're
I
on a
doubt it.
different calendar. The kid's actually 19.
He's actually 43.
Right.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
the
know.
girl's still 13.
That's why the 30-year-olds look so old. Oh,
I
Lord.
thought it was Chernobyl.
We might have some Russian fans.
Yeah,
that are
maybe
gonna be like,
he's a
you guys are racist. We'll be like, nah, we just joking around. Get
maybe
over
he's a
it.
descendant of some Chernobyl stuff. Maybe.
Wait a minute. If you make fun of Russians, that isn't being racist, is it?
It is if somebody says it is. I
No,
guess
because
they
Russia,
live in an outrage culture.
Russian isn't a race.
It can be if you just want to be subjective and incorrect all the time.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of people out there, some
go along with
social
that.
justice warriors that
Well, you
seem to
know.
act like that. There's a lot of people.
It's
Just because
that-
they have a feeling, and that's what it is. That's the truth.
Roll along to get along. You know what I mean?
No.
Peace, love, dove, all you groovy guys and
And,
groovy gals.
Fired up, son.
It's like the eugenics scale you were talking about. There's a lot of morons.
I
idiots,
never
and
used that
imbeciles.
word eugenics. You're the one that brought up eugenics.
Oh, the
I
IQ.
still don't
that
know what it
IQ
means.
Scale. The
Goose fraba.
IQ
Goose
scale.
fraba. Go ahead, Bob. Continue, bearded one.
I don't know what that is. Goose fraba. Is that like force feeding a goose?
Somebody wake the old guy up. He fell asleep.
Hey,
No,
so
you were talking.
what?
You were talking about like an intelligence
I
scale.
didn't do it, Your Honor.
Of it, like moron, imbecile, and idiot. Where those
Right.
words come from.
Right.
Well, I think idiot comes from like ancient Greece, but anyway, it was used for the lowest level of IQ count.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now they're just common insults or whatever.
Right.
That was actually it was a pseudoscience of eugenics, and that was part of the whole propaganda on the program where the bureaucrats would label people morons, imbeciles, or idiots based on completely arbitrary questions that are in no way scientifically like measurable for
Mhm,
this purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just a way to shut certain people out.
All of psychology is like that.
Yeah,
All-
because it's not an exact science,
It's
right?
not even a
But
science.
this stuff is pure quackery, and all it was to just wash out, just like the war on drugs.
Mm.
All it was to marginalize and wash out, quite harshly, certain sections of the population.
Nincompoops.
You know,
I
by
don't-
not letting them
I
breed,
think a
locking them in
nincompoop is
asylums.
smarter than a moron.
But that's real stuff, and that was before Hitler. Everybody out there that doesn't know about history, which is most people, it seems, at least on Facebook.
It's almost disappeared.
Yeah.
And all
Well, yeah,
these-
they don't want to. You know
all
what?
these people that want to get rid of statues and get rid of paintings. Well, why don't you burn a couple of damn books
Well,
while you're at
it's
it?
anti-propaganda. They're not gonna. You're gonna find not much about it in American interests. You're not gonna find a whole lot of information about the boom, the massive trend that was American
Boomer.
eugenics. You're not gonna find it here because we're in America, and it's stuff they're trying to sweep under the rug.
Well,
They're trying to make it go away.
yeah,
it's
of
like
course. Of
anti-propaganda.
course.
Yeah.
If you go somewhere else, maybe like in Russia, Russian kids might know all about America's eugenics program because they're not hidden from it like we are.
Oh yeah,
You know what
that
I'm
is
saying?
true. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
don't they live in a dictatorship over there, communist
Sure,
style,
but
so.
you know, I'm sure it's that all trades. It's all
We only know what our phones tell us.
right. I'm talking about a dynamic that exists everywhere, but here we're not going to hear so much about American eugenics programs unless you seek it out. It's not just going to be taught and known about because it's trying to get the establishment
it's
wants
there.
it to go away.
It's there, but the establishment elites are trying really, really hard to make sure that you have to work to get the truth.
right, exactly. That's what I'm
Because
saying.
90% of everything that everybody sees or hears or reads or buys, it's phony.
Well, here's another example of that on a little bit different type of level, I guess, like what we're taught in school history class in public schools, which is very, very brief and not non-specific, and it's barely an oversight of real histories. A lot of things are omitted. A lot of things just are straight up false. Or here's an example of that anti-propaganda. America won 2 world wars. How did we participated in 2 world wars?
And we only went into World War I in the last year.
Right. We didn't. We
We
put
were only
up,
there for a year.
We put up almost nothing compared to the other nations, and
Oh,
we
I know.
sacrificed very little, as much as it may have been. Let me give you a World War II here. We'll talk about the Russians again, okay? Everybody walks around, although we won World War II, this and that. Okay, we did completely annihilate Japan. Okay, I will give us that. Although we weren't the only nation involved in fighting Japan, but we had the weapons that took them apart. Anyhow, Europe, we we were not even close to the only participants over in Europe. We didn't even put up anywhere near the sacrifices that other nations did. Like England, they lost their whole empire over it. Soviet
That's 'cause
Union,
they got rid of the Knights Templar.
the Soviet
Okay.
Union, the Soviet Union fought the Nazis, I think, for 6 years. A lot of their countryside was taken.
Oh, they lost
laid to
millions
waste. They
fighting
lost
the Germans.
25 million people. We
Yeah.
didn't even have 25 million people involved
Right.
in our entire effort. They got 25 million deaths. That's not full casualties. Full casualties is probably close to like 80 million, probably, if you go for like casualty
Right,
versus
right.
death statistics. And I mean, if anybody sacrificed in World War II above and beyond anybody else, let's give credit where it's due. Russia
Yeah, I know.
destroyed the Third Reich.
I know.
Destroyed it. Like, it's crazy.
I agree.
Hitler would
I've
have
always
stomped
wondered
us
that
if
myself.
we rolled over there like, "Hey, we're here," and he wasn't fighting Russia. We wouldn't have even made it onto the beach, dude. They would have blown our ships out of the water, man.
And I can't figure out how in the hell we became such enemies. I mean, even
a
Khrushchev,
lot of propaganda.
Nikita Khrushchev, who was president, that was Kennedy.
Yeah, he tried.
But
Kennedy and him both tried to
they
make
did,
peace, but
they
there was
did.
a lot of damage done already.
prior to that,
because of Stalin and and Truman, it all started after
that
World
whole
War II
Soviet
with the UN,
thing, the beginning of the Soviet thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It just
I-
kind of
I
kicked
don't
off
know.
right after World War II, man.
And I'm still trying to figure out why everybody hates the Jews. Who in the hell did they fuck? To make everybody hate them so
The
bad.
Jews.
Oh my!
I don't understand it.
I think it's the idea
Or
that
is it just a made up
I
kind
think
of a
it's
thing?
it's
That's
Zionism.
my girlfriend.
It's not necessarily Jews like the people that got burned alive and gassed and stuff.
Right.
It's Zionism, which is a completely different subject, and it's the kind of thing that'll get our houses.
But aren't all
freaking set on
Zionist
fire by
Jews?
Mossad.
Aren't all Zionists Jews? But not all Jews are Zionists.
Yes, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, what is Zionism then?
it's like the Rothschild Empire is Zion,
well,
Israel.
let's stick to the Middle East. How about Jerusalem?
Yeah,
and
Israel.
Israel.
Yeah, that's the center of
and
Zionism.
the
yeah.
Canaanites, and when the Israelis,
It would be the
exited
Jewish
it-
priests that appealed to Pilate to crucify Christ.
Right.
Those are Zionists.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, Khazars.
Yeah.
What about the Satanists?
What about him, dude?
I have a article here out of the Mirror, UK. A satanic sect kills a pregnant woman and 6 children in a violent exorcism in a church.
What?
What?
Say that again.
Listen, there's a okay.
That's the reason why Notre Dame burnt down.
The bodies of 7 people, including a child as young as 1 year old, were found in a mass grave after families were held against their will in a church in Panama. They did a satanic ritual and they killed them all.
Oh well.
What
man.
kind of Satanism is this?
I'm not sure, man.
Sick kind.
Because everything I know about Satanism doesn't condone sacrificing human beings or really hurting anybody in any
No,
way.
that's what they do.
Unless
but
you-
nobody practices that.
Unless you expect to receive that same harm, in multiple.
Is that the satanic way?
Yeah.
So
It's
you don't
ki-
do
it's
harm
very-
to others
It's
unless
not dogmatic. It's karmic. That's the difference. The whole Catholicism thing is dogmatic. The Satanism thing, LaVeyan Satanism, is more karmic.
you know a little too much about this stuff.
Right, yeah.
I know about lots of things.
Hey, have any of you guys seen that TV show? I think I saw it on Netflix. It was called Lucifer.
No.
Oh my God, is it good? It is excellent. You would love it. And it's funny. It's funny, and it's a good show. A lot of hot chicks, and Lucifer is the head dude, and he's a James Bond-looking character, and he's
Of
wealthy,
course.
and he owns these nightclubs, and he's actually a nice guy.
Yeah.
And his job was given to him by God. He made him take all of the bad people and forced him to create a hell to keep him. Lucifer didn't want to do any of that shit. He just
That's so authoritarian, though.
According to the show. Yeah.
from God.
According to that
God
show.
is the one that made him, and then made the archangel. Who is it?
Michael, yeah.
Okay,
Gabriel.
Well, yeah, he made them guys angels,
Right.
But he made Lucifer in charge of the damned.
Sure.
You know what the fuck?
Yeah,
and
your
Lucifer,
information's
it
inaccurate.
pissed him off. It really pissed him
Yeah,
off.
because
And finally,
Lucifer is about liberty, man.
finally he came.
So he don't like doing that.
Finally, he came to Earth, and he said, I quit. I quit being Lucifer. God, you're going to have to get somebody else to do it because I don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
And so then God sent Lucifer's brother, one of the archangels, to talk him out of it. And Lucifer says, hey, why are you even listening to that guy? He hasn't done anything for us. Stay here on Earth.
Lucifer's corrupting the angels.
He does.
Cast him down from heaven.
He turns him into a cokehead.
Well, he's not supposed
I
to do that.
swear to God, he did.
Just supposed to wake him
So
up.
Lucifer was doing blow.
Oh, he does blow anything. He fucks men, fucks women. Does
Oh, my
anything.
Oh, wow, I got
He-
a lot of work on this. You got a lot of
He's
cussing going
Lucifer,
on.
man.
Yeah, he's Lucifer. Plus, he's an angel.
Suck.
You ought to see it though, and it's well written, well photographed, and filmed. And
How much are they paying you to plug the show?
We can do it.
Well, as a matter of fact, it's not on the air anymore. So apparently, not enough people liked it. But I thought it was fan-fucking-tastic.
Do you think your Supreme Master Leader, Donald J. Trump, does he do blow?
Why wouldn't he?
First of all,
Why wouldn't he?
first of all,
I mean, let's be real.
How does he function so long like
first
that?
of
He's
all,
got to do
Mr.
blow.
Fake News. He's not my supreme. What'd you call him?
Supreme Master Leader.
Supreme Master. He's not my Supreme Master Leader. And second of all, how in the hell would I know? It would just be an opinion anyway.
Well, that's all you got.
And opinions are like assholes,
It would
and they all
be-
stink.
It would be an opinion
testicles
like the arbitrary and subjective nature of deciding whether somebody goes to hell or heaven.
Whoa.
Dude,
Right,
you're
we're
on
off this
Space
subject.
Cadet. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
on Space Cadet mode today.
I'm on Space Cadet mode 24/7, man.
Oh.
No, I mean, talking about Trump, think about it. Back when he was in his 20s and 30s, multi-millionaire, jet-setting playboy who actually was very attractive and looked good when he was younger.
Dude, he was probably doing coke
He
before
was-
people on the street had it.
Exactly. That's my whole point.
I mean, let's be real.
I
Yeah.
That's your president.
I mean, I would expect, well, wait a minute. Whenever you do things when you're younger, you learn it from it as you get older. And finally, you look back on yourself, as I can, and go, man, I can't believe I actually did that shit. Like riding a motorcycle at 105 miles an hour,
Yeah.
drunk and
Oh yeah.
stoned.
Oh,
we got
yeah.
we got
Yeah.
that under our belt.
Yeah, I'm telling you. But would you do it again?
No.
No.
Sometimes I wonder why I'm alive.
Yeah, I think me and
I
Chops have
also-
had a couple experiences
Yeah.
on Wellsville.
Also.
Everybody
A
in this
couple.
room has got insane
Handful.
stories.
But
Some
Trump,
of you listeners
Trump is
know us.
exactly like us. He fucked up, did a bunch of shit, grabbed girls by the pussy and everything.
Said 1,000 cuss words on a podcast.
Yeah.
We're not. Are we even going to try to censor this?
No, probably not.
But now he's the president of the United States and he's a patriot and he has straightened his fucking act up. man.
F-bomb.
He's not a cokehead anymore, guys.
I mean, he can do no wrong, I guess.
Okay, no more Trump or fluoride.
No Trump. Trump is on fluoride.
Trump or
I don't know
fluoride.
if he is or not.
Well, what happened to all these migrant caravans?
They
Which
stopped.
ones?
Did they? Because right now, Yahoo News.
What, Central America's stable
Whoa,
now?
whoa, whoa! Yahoo News, fake news.
Well, it's a freaking news article. They're saying they busted through the line somewhere down in Guatemala, and there's 1,000 of them meeting up with another couple thousand, and they're on their way up here.
Fake news.
That's fake news.
Yeah.
You know what? Central America is stable now, and it's because of the wall.
Well, it's not only the wall, but socialism is helping out Venezuela too.
That's
so
right.
Well, wait a minute.
That's bringing everything back online.
They have already eaten their zoo.
We're being facetious.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
Completely facetious.
Completely, absolutely, 100%.
Fallacious.
What?
Chops is being fallacious.
That's one of those big words. Facious.
Every time we're facetious, he's fallacious.
Okay, so let's say that's fake news. Now,
Necrotizing
is this fake news?
fasciitis.
We got smugglers ferry a
That's
China.
my favorite disease.
They're ferrying Chinese migrants over on yachts now.
What?
So Donald Trump's boat, they're probably bringing over migrants or something.
They're burying
Whoa,
them?
whoa.
Oh, ferrying them.
The ferry, bringing them over on yachts. So
Sweet.
is that true? Is that fake news? They're
I
smuggling.
I think you could pretty much say, yeah, that's pretty much fake
I mean, they could
news.
We
smuggle.
don't really know.
They're probably bringing the Chinese over
Well,
here.
I don't
100
really
by 100
know, but neither do you.
to take over.
Yeah, I don't.
What if they're just building sects over here, like Chinese people that are all?
They're probably
getting
not
ready.
doing it on Trump's boat, though.
You don't think it's Trump's boat?
No.
No. Robert Downey Jr.'s boat.
RDJ? Maybe.
Oh, definitely. His boat is party
I'm a-
central. I'd be on that boat. I'd get tickets to that boat.
I thought he got sober. Doesn't
He
do
did.
anything.
He did,
Yeah.
according to Yahoo News.
Why are we talking about Robert Downey Jr.?
We're just talking about who might be ferrying over these Chinamen on their yachts.
You know what?
Bill Gates.
Maybe a bigger concern would be like how much land the Chinese own of sovereign U.S. soil.
Right. Now that's a big problem.
I mean, that's bigger than some people coming over and hanging out.
Yeah, but what if they're all over here building their little armies over here right in front of us and we don't even know?
Then
That'd
we're
be the
done
best
for.
place to do it.
We're done for.
Because we're all dumb.
Yeah.
There's probably like ISIS fighters that are already over here hanging out somewhere.
Wasn't
Oh,
that like
for
the whole
sure.
script for the Patriot Act thing?
So that wouldn't happen? They
Well,
had to use
it
mass
could.
surveillance on the American people so that they know that there's no ISIS or Al Qaeda.
We don't
or
even know
whoever.
if there is or not.
Well,
We know where there are. They're in Saudi Arabia, and we're not even going to touch Saudi Arabia because, oil, petrodollar, all that stuff.
yeah.
Economic allies, oligarchical allies.
Well, when are they going to pull the plug? Because I know America, something's got to happen over here. There always has to be some kind of
We'll
event.
keep staging wars.
Because, there was an event for the Patriot Act. There's an event for the National Defense Authorization Act, both of which his supreme master leader signed. Those sections we always
you
talk
talking about Willis?
You're talking about that we're probably going to have like Chinese terrorists now, is what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe. Well, we're putting all these tariffs on them, and we're screwing with their economy. Maybe they're like, that's it.
Now would be a good time to start going to karate class.
All they need to do is get in like high positions
fight
at corporate
karate,
companies and push
kung
that
fu
button.
fighting.
Bloop, turn everything off.
Yeah. Well, China's huge.
China can
Yeah.
wage economic
And they got
war,
some
dude.
serious technological advances on us, I believe.
sure.
And they can produce things a lot faster than us because they run on a slave labor
China is the
situation.
new Soviet Union, man.
You think?
Like if you're to go back, if you're going to go back to like 1950, China is what the Soviet Union was then to us.
But economically, they're consumers like we are,
Sure.
I don't know.
But what I'm saying is they have an industrial power and population like the Soviet Union used to be known for.
Yeah.
Like that's
They're
their
still
weapon.
pretty powerful. Ridiculous. But they
I
live
never
in
knew
tiny little
the
shacks
Soviet
on top of each
Union
other.
being a economic powerhouse. The only thing that they've ever done was arms.
I'm not talking about the people and their prosperity in everyday life. I'm talking about the state.
Yeah, it was all military.
Government.
I
Everything
know, I
was
know.
based on military
Sure,
hardware.
but they had. I mean, think about that's an empire. It was
Yeah.
a military empire.
Well, we're coming to the end of the show here, fellas. So we're going to have to wrap it up. Make sure to go to the bobandbobshow.com webpage, and you can still catch us on Spotify, iTunes. What are the other ones I got?
iHeartRadio, Podbean.
Yep, we got all those. You can
I
go
don't
there,
know.
download the new stuff, man.
Download.
We're back in it. Thanks for listening.
Download.
John
Later.
Travolta.
We love you.
A smooth operator. A smooth operator.